Good morning all of you. Today we'll start with a demonstration of spleen. This is spleen. Spleen belongs to reticuloendothelial system and it is a hemolymph organ. As you know, we divide the abdomen into 9 regions. So whenever you do any viscera, you should first know in which region that viscera lies. So first spleen. Spleen lies in the left hypochondrium and it lies behind 9, 10 and 11 rib. Its long axis is oblique. If you see the spleen, its long axis is oblique, which is directed downward, forward and laterally. Spleen usually is of wedge shaped, but it can be of tetrahedral or triangular in shape. I will tell you later what is triangular and what is tetrahedral. So next is, if you see the measurements of spleen, can you see it is 1 inch thick, 3 inches broad and 5 inches in length. The weight of the spleen is approximately 150 gram or you can say 7 ounces and it lies behind 9 to 11 ribs. So can you make a scheme? There is an odd number scheme is going on. 1 inch, 3 inch, 5 inch, 7 ounce, 9 to 11. So these odd numbers together they are called as Harry's dictum of spleen. So coming to the anatomical position, how you have to hold it. First, whenever you get a specimen of a spleen, hold it in left hand. Okay. Then see this surface which is smooth. You have to keep 3 fingers on this smooth surface, which denotes 9, 10 and 11 rib. Okay. Now you have to hold it like this in such a way, this end which is anterior end more like a border, it should come downwards, forwards and towards the left, and this end which is rounded, it is the posterior end, it should come upwards, backwards and medially, and it should be obliquely. So this is how you have to hold the spleen. Hope it is clear. You can see it, 3 fingers here. I kept the thumb here and it is like this. These 2 ends are not in one line. The anterior end is downwards, forwards and left, and this posterior end is upwards, backwards and medially. Sometimes there is a confusion about the superior and the inferior part. For that, you see this surface, there is one impression here and one impression here. The deeper impression, this one lies superiorly and the shallower one lies inferiorly. Okay. Now coming to the presenting parts of spleen. Spleen has 2 ends. This is the anterior end and this is the posterior end. This anterior end is also known as the lateral end. It is more like a border and it lies in the mid-axillary line. While this posterior end, this is the posterior end, it is directed upwards, backwards and medially, and it is roughly 4 to 5 centimeters away from the mid-dorsal line, and it corresponds with the spine of the T10 vertebra. Okay. Then these 2 ends, this lateral end and this is medial end. Next, coming to the borders, there are 3 borders. This is the superior border, this is the intermediate border and this is the inferior border. See here, this superior border is thin in comparison to the inferior and the intermediate border. Sometimes there are notches present on the superior border, but that is not a characteristically of the superior border. It just denotes that the spleen develops from the lobules. Okay. This superior border corresponds with the upper border of the 9th rib. Okay. And it separates this surface which is diaphragmatic surface from this impression which is gastric impression. Okay. This border is the inferior border this inferior border corresponds with the lower border of 11th rib, and this is the intermediate border. It is rounded in shape. Now after this, surfaces. Spleen has two surfaces. This surface is the diaphragmatic surface and this surface is the visceral surface. This diaphragmatic surface is convex, smooth, and it is directed upwards, backwards and towards the left. If you see it anatomically, it is upwards, backwards and towards the left. And this surface is the visceral surface. On the visceral surface there is this impression which is known as gastric impression. It is deeper, which is related to the fundus of the stomach. On this gastric impression, you can appreciate between just above this intermediate border there is an area where blood vessels are seen. This area is the hilum. The blood vessels enter or leave from this area. This impression, which is between the intermediate border and inferior border, this is the renal impression formed by the anterior surface of the left kidney. This impression, which is near the anterior border, this is colic impression, which is related to the left colic flexure. And this impression, which is between the colic impression and intermediate area, this is related to pancreas, specifically tail of the pancreas. So these are the impressions on the visceral surface. Now, there are two angles, this and this one. This is anterobasal angle, which is between this superior border and the anterior border. This is anterobasal angle, and this angle, which is between the anterior border and inferior border, is the posterobasal angle. This anterobasal angle is very important. It is known as clinical angle of spleen. Why? See here. Spleen is like this anatomically. Okay. Usually spleen cannot be palpated, but when there is splenomegaly or it gets enlarged, we can palpate the spleen. This end is on the left side. When it enlarges, it goes medially towards the umbilicus, and when we palpate it, this angle, this anterobasal angle, is the first part to be palpated. So this is known as the also known as the clinical angle of the spleen. Now coming to the next, here in the hilum you can appreciate two vessels. This is more like, it's like a tortuous. This is the splenic artery, and this straight vessel is the splenic vein. Coming to the relations. Whenever you do relations in case of viscera, you have to do it in two headings, that is the peritoneal relations and the visceral relation. First of all, peritoneal relations. Spleen is completely covered by the peritoneum except this region, hilum. On the hilum, there are two peritoneal folds are there, gastrosplenic and lienorenal. This gastrosplenic peritoneal fold or gastrosplenic ligament, it extends from the hilum to the greater curvature of stomach, upper 1/3 part, or you can say to the fundus of the stomach. And this lienorenal extends from the hilum to the anterior surface of the left kidney. In the gastrosplenic ligament, there are short gastric vessels and left gastroepiploic vessel, while in the lienorenal ligament there are splenic vessels, nerves, then there can be tail of the pancreas, or there can be pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes. Beside this, there is one more ligament, phrenico-colic ligament. That phrenico-colic ligament is not attached on the spleen, but it supports this anterior end. Break these words. Phrenico-colic. Phrenic means diaphragm, so it is attached on the diaphragm. Colic means the colon left colic flexure. So that phrenico-colic is attached in the diaphragm and the left colic flexure. It is not attached in the spleen, but it supports the anterior end of the spleen and it is horizontal. Coming to the visceral relation. This surface is the diaphragmatic surface. On the diaphragmatic surface, it is related to the diaphragm. On the visceral surface, it is related to the stomach, fundus part of the stomach on this area. And remember that stomach is separated from the structures of the stomach bed by lesser sac, except spleen. Spleen is separated from the stomach by greater sac. Remember that, this is important. Now, next is here it is related to the anterior surface of the left kidney. Here it is related to the left colic flexure and here with the tail of the pancreas. See here, I told you this tortuous artery is the splenic artery. This splenic artery is tortuous. This tortuosity allows the movement of the spleen during respiration and also prevents obstruction to the blood flow to the spleen during the distension of the stomach. Can you name other tortuous vessels in our body? Facial, that you have studied, facial artery, ophthalmic artery, uterine artery you will do later, and remember this splenic artery. These are the tortuous artery in our body. Now next is the venous drainage. This is the splenic vein. The splenic vein is not tortuous and it has 4 to 5 tributaries come out from the splenic substance which unite together to form the splenic vein. And this splenic vein unite with the superior mesenteric vein behind the neck of the pancreas to form portal vein. The splenic vein tributaries are short gastric vein, left gastroepiploic vein, then pancreatic vein, inferior mesenteric vein. Remember this inferior mesenteric vein. Usually students get confused because inferior mesenteric artery is a branch of abdominal aorta while the inferior mesenteric vein is a tributary of splenic vein. Okay. Now it is supplied by the celiac plexus. Sympathetic supply is from the celiac plexus. Spleen can be divided into two segments, superior and inferior, by an avascular zone which is perpendicular to the long axis. Okay, vascular segments are important for surgical resections and all. Okay, I'll show you one more specimen. I'll just repeat once and then I'll show you one more specimen. This is how you have to hold the spleen. This is the anterior end, posterior end, or you can say the lateral end, medial end, superior border, intermediate border, inferior border, diaphragmatic surface. On the visceral surface, gastric impression, renal impression, colic impression, pancreatic impression. This is hilum, splenic artery, splenic vein. See here, this is you can easily appreciate here. This impression is the gastric impression. See here, this is stomach. Stomach can be related, is related to spleen here, and this part, this retorted part, this one is the pancreas. Okay. Here you can appreciate this tortuous vessel is the splenic artery. Okay. See, this one more spleen I am showing you. Here you can identify. This is the diaphragmatic surface. This is the visceral surface. See, on the superior border there is a notch. A notch is also present on the inferior border. So notch is not a characteristic feature of a, but see the impression. This is the gastric impression which is deep and this renal impression is shallow. Now see here in this picture, this is how you look at the open abdominal cavity. This is the diaphragm, this is liver, this is stomach, and see here the small viscera is spleen. Now see here, this is spleen. We have cut the stomach. This is the cut end of the stomach. This is liver. After retracting the liver, you can see the structure. Stomach we have cut. This is spleen and this is pancreas. So the tail of the pancreas is related to the spleen. And see here, this is the colon. This is the left colic flexure and this is left kidney. Now in this picture you can appreciate these are the 9, 10 and 11 rib and this is spleen. This is the corresponding picture of that. This is schematic picture of this. This is a spleen in which this part is the gastrosplenic ligament. This is splenic artery and see here, this is the gastric impression. Hope it is clear. If there is any doubt, you are free to ask.